Okay, so the first step in our stained glass window, Beauty and the Beast rose, is to draw the container that the rose is going to go in very lightly. Like so. And here is the lid. Okay. Now we're going to create our stained glass window. We're going to take each one of these bleeding tissue squares. We're going to wet our paper with our big brush, and we're going to press our squares onto the paper like that. And I'm going to use several different colors here. Now these colors are definitely going to blend together and bleed, and that's okay. That's what we want. It's going to create a really neat effect later, and I'll show you what I'm talking about. I'm using different colors. No two colors are going to be touching, so I want to create a variety. There we go. Now be careful not to saturate your paper too much. Let's see. Now some are going to go over the page, and that's okay. Don't worry about that. One tip I will tell you is to have like a darker color contrasting with lighter colors if possible. Let's see. Do I want that color? I think I want something brighter there. Another tip with using watercolors or these tissue squares is not to use the white on white. That's not going to show up very well. But you can use black if you wish. Although I like to keep mine nice and colorful, but you can do whatever you want. You can use black. I just would definitely avoid the white for right now. Again, any color combination you'd like. Ooh, I love this green. There's all different colors here. See, I was going to use purple here, but I'm going to change my mind on that because I think it would maybe not contrast as well with that dark brown, or dark blue rather. See, I have two kind of bright, vibrant colors. I'm gonna balance that out with a softer color there. You don't have to place your squares on the page perfectly. It's okay if they're a little crooked. I always say there's really no such thing as a perfect art project. In a way, doing art is kind of like embracing imperfection, really, because I wasn't even taught, I didn't go to art school or anything. I like to do art in my free time. But I give myself permission to be imperfect with this and just enjoy the process. Ooh, I think I like another red here. I think that would go nicely with the yellow. Okay, I am coming to the end here on my paper. See, that one's crooked, but I don't mind. That is not going to be a problem. Let's see. See how I have all these different colors, and really no two colors are alike. No two colors are touching. That's kind of how I like to do mine. But again, go ahead and do what's in your art heart today. One last color. Okay, so that is our first step. This is nice and soggy right now, and I am going to let it dry for a bit. To be continued. Okay, so now we are going to draw a rose, and you can be really free with this. Just kind of start with some like petals that kind of fold. Again, no need to be perfect. And then I'm going to draw a nice long stem. And I'm going to put a couple thorns on my rose. And some leaves. Of various sizes. and a couple of dropped petals. Again, this is also optional. Okay. Now I'm going to fill it in with watercolors. I'm going to start with the stems and the leaves. And to create a contrast, you can use different shades of green. If you go outside the lines, that is not a problem. I'm not staying in the lines, and that is quite okay. I think maybe I need a thinner brush. Okay, now with this rose, I'm gonna let you paint your rose whatever color you'd like. Typically, roses are pastel colors or they're red, but I would let you do whatever color you like. You know, I think I'm gonna go with yellow. I have a couple different choices here. I have a couple different shades of yellow, and I can maybe add some dimension. By using the different shades of yellow, just as I did with the leaves. Because when I do that, I'm creating more of a three-dimensional image instead of something flat, right? Don't forget the petals on the bottom. Okay, how do you like my yellow rose? Again, you can use like red, pink, purple, blue. Now, we are going to outline this rose in some black paint. So we have the chance here to use a couple different techniques. We're drawing with pencil, so in other words, sketching. We got to use our bleeding tissue squares. We got to use a little bit of watercolor, and now we get to use acrylic paint with a very thin brush to outline our rose. And the reason why we're doing this is we're trying to make the rose really pop off the page. Don't forget to put your little details. Okay, so I've outlined my rose, and I'm gonna take just a few moments to let that dry, and this is to be continued. Okay, friends, things are starting to dry, and here my tissue squares have come off, and it has left this kaleidoscope of color, which is really lovely. What I'm going to do next is I'm going to trace over that rose container. Try to do it as steady as I can. Don't forget about the lid at the top. Alrighty. Now I am going to make my stained glass windows. And so with the black paint, I'm going to make a line kind of down the middle, not completely straight, ever so gentle like that. And then I'm going to create some stained glass. Now, you've kind of seen stained glass windows. There's kind of an angle. So here's my first layer. And I'm creating kind of that cracked look in the background, right? Here's another layer. And here you can really use your imagination. You can create certain patterns. You can make it as broad or detailed as you'd like. Ooh, you know what? I'm going to add, mine are going to be going through the middle because my container is made of glass. Therefore, it is see-through. Again, it can be as delicate and intricate and detailed, or you can make it more broad. I'm going to leave that up to you. Okay, so I am going to let this dry in the sun. And what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bubble cut my rose. And I think you all can guess where the rose is going to go. I'm going to try and get as close to the edge of my outline as possible. Again, this does not need to be perfect. You know, part of the beauty of art is its imperfections. We're all just creating how we see what we see. And we each have our own interpretation. I can offer suggestions and give you a fun project to do, but really the magic of this is seeing what you all come up with on your own. And I love to see at the end how no two art projects are the same. And that is just part of the beautiful thing about a project like this. Okay. See how I'm trying to get it as close as I can. To the edge of the outline. It's more of a bubble cut though. Okay, there's my rose. I'm going to cut these little petals out. Where's my other one? Okay. Alrighty. Now I'm going to get my glue stick out. And I'm going to glue my rose in the middle, like so. Whew. And I'm going to put my little petals on the bottom there. And even this last petal is going to be like floating down as if it just fell off. Okay, here is the finished project. What do you think, everyone?